Hi, how you doing, sir?
Hello.
Yeah, we are
very
live.
happy to be here.
Yeah,
I was trying to see which one we first, either
right.
on my laptop or my phone. But the phone
Okay.
has it.
Okay, this is your phone, right? Right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
I thought we would do this before going live, but already it's 10 o'clock. It's past 10. The time is already
Yeah.
speaking. How much? I mean, what time is it over there in Argentina?
Right now it's 1:05 p.m.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's not too bad.
Yes.
I've spoken with somebody from Australia today, and he told me that the time over
Yeah.
there in Australia was about then, but that was about 11 something p.m. So they were already in bed.
It's
So,
a very beautiful thing, God's handiwork, all these time differences and all. They're very nice.
Yeah, it's right.
So I'm
Yeah,
happy to be
just
here.
give us a minute. I don't know why we still have something about two people who are supposed to connect. So, but right now we're taking time to ensure that all the platforms are connected. So all our platforms are ensure everything is right. So just hold on the line. I'm going to take you out a bit.
Yeah,
but
we are here
in the studio. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm live. Oh my word. God be praised. Amen. Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. I don't know what part of the world you're watching from. So we're setting up real quick. Yeah, we just want to ensure that all the connections and all the platforms are really working. Thank you. If you are joining us, please share this on all your platforms. Share this on all your platforms. Share this on all your platforms. Thank you. Ooh. Wow. See she here? Wow. you are saying bros all the time. Okay. All right. Okay, awesome. Does look like we have more people joining us from YouTube. Thank you. I'm getting all the messages. Though it's a bit difficult for me to know who is joining. Jumoke. Yeah, thank you. All right, she joined from YouTube. Okay, please, if you are joining, you can just drop a comment so that we know you are here with us, and please help us to share this, invite other people to connect with us. It's going to be exciting today because We'll be discussing science-supported solutions today. These are still natural solutions, but we want to see what scientists have said about the things that we've been talking about. So please connect on YouTube, on Instagram. Yep, on Instagram, the connection is we're going to ensure the connection for Instagram goes up right away. Yeah, we're working on that, so we should get that shortly. So our Instagram folks should be joining us soon. Okay. Thank you very much, Babalola Joshua. Thank you so much, sir. He's he's connecting all the way from South Korea. No, sorry, Austria. I don't know why I keep putting you back in South Korea. He's in Austria right now. Thank you for sharing that. We appreciate that. We appreciate all the shares, all the people who are sharing. Yeah, thank you for sharing these with us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, 1 second. Right. Thank you. I just want to make sure our Instagram people also are connected. We don't want anyone to be left behind. So, you know, this is going to be done real quick. It's a lockdown, so you are controlling so many systems at the same time. Really apologize for that. Okay. Not this one. Oh, wow. Facebook is incredibly slow today. Facebook is incredibly slow today. Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right. So, our Instagram folks, you can see us right now on Instagram. If I want to be sure that I'm posting to the right page on Instagram. Thank you, everybody. I'm seeing people showing us so much love right now, and I really appreciate that. Thank you for your encouragement and thank you for your support. We do not take it for granted. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We do not take it for granted at all, not in any way. Okay, so let's go for our Instagram folks. Thank you. All right. So please tell everybody we're on right now. Okay, one more step. It's becoming a bit difficult to connect with the guest coming on the show today. I've only been able to connect with somebody coming in, the guest coming in from Argentina is the one in the studio right now. I'm trying to just give me a second. I want to probably resend my link to the other guest. Forward this message. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you for joining us, our folks on Instagram. I will say this to the guys, to the folks joining us on Instagram. Yeah, so Solange177, thank you. When I'm Sylvia, I just will send to you the link. So please get off Instagram and get into the studio. Please. All right, you are here. Thank you. All right. So thank you. You just saved my life now. Wow, wow. Thank you. And I'm seeing all the messages pouring in. Oluwatoyin Jiboju, thank you, thank you. Now I know you are here. Abola Joshua, thank you, sir. AK, thank you very much. Yala J Offshore. That is mine. Thank you. I can see you. All right. Oh, all the way from New York, McDonald Aqueme, thank you very much. Josie E, thank you. Mo Demi, thank you. What is that? If you are look, you tag somebody. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the tag. Thank you for the invite. Let's keep bringing in the people. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Our folks on Instagram, I can see Olua Korede, Tam Babe, FA Clothings, Lebaba. Thank you everybody for the love. Please share this. My WhatsApp is buzzing. I do hope nobody. Oh yeah, my mentor my coach is on top of the game, and he just asked me. I hope I'm on top of it. Yeah, I was sent. I just got it done right now. Okay, please stay glued. I'm gonna issue a number, yeah, so that you can actually connect with us with that number. I'll be opening the studio, making it live for people to call. But let me say that the number is going to be WhatsApp call only. I can only receive a WhatsApp call so as not to disrupt the connections. If you'd like us to do a video, you can do it on video. If I can connect with the studio here, I can put your face right over there. But if it's going to be voice alone, just make a call, a quick one. But I will let you know. You'll see the number displaying on the screen, and I'm going to pin it on WhatsApp so everybody can see the number once it's up. Right. Thank you very much. It's a loaded event. It's a loaded program we have today. And what I'm hearing is that we want to keep it brief and keep it short, though it's a live event, but I'm trying to make sure that we keep it brief and keep it short. So I'll be turning the studio over. I'll be turning it over to Sylvia in New York right away. She'll be taking it up from me in New York right now. I'm sure she's ready because I don't want to talk much, so I want to be guided in things I say today. Facebook is working. I'm hearing somebody asking, is Facebook not working? Facebook is working. Go to the page, not my page now. Go to the page, Nutraceutical X Solutions. That is the page. Don't go to my personal page. Go to, although I have already shared it on my personal page, but again, it's best for you to just connect directly. Oh, okay. All right. So, thank you, everybody. Right, we can set the ball rolling right now. Good afternoon. Oh, thank you, sir. Oh, thank you so much, sir. Now I see you on YouTube. Good to see you. Thank you, man of God, Pastor Yegoke Emmanuel. Thank you so much, sir. Sikomo, now you join us today on YouTube. Don't mind that guy. They abandoned me in my corner. All right. First of all, I'm going to do a brief introduction. So we got Sylvia on the show from New York. Sylvia, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm alive. I'm kicking. I can't complain. I decided to quick sleep last night. I slept like a baby. Thank God.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Are we going to be on Instagram as well? So yes. I add you on Instagram?
Yes. So you can send me a video invite right away on Instagram. Then I connect you so that my Instagram audience can actually connect with you as well.
Okay. I sent you a hi.
Okay. Let me see. All right. I'm sending you. Okay. I just sent a link to you right now. You can connect with that.
Okay. So I need to reduce you here.
Yeah, we both need to do that. I've taken out the volume on my. I hope the second folks will be able to hear me. Okay, so you're good right now. Yes. So it's over to you. Turn it over to you, and then let me quickly say that after I just want to just take it out from there. We'll be having all the way from Argentina. Dr. Ebenezer Idowu is in the house. You want to say hi to the people, Dr. Ebenezer?
Good afternoon, Dr. Ebenezer. He's from Australia. So what time is it in Australia?
Hello, everyone.
No, he's in
Argentina.
Argentina. Okay.
Right.
Argentina right now is 19 minutes past 1 afternoon.
Past 1. Good afternoon, Dr. Ebenezer Idowu.
Good afternoon to you, Miss Sylvia.
We can't see your face. We don't know why your camera is.
See my face?
Yeah, the camera is black. You want to adjust that real quick?
No. Right now?
Okay, now you're on. We can see you right now. Good. Yeah. Good.
Okay.
See you.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Okay. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Sylvia, Babalola, Connie. Good afternoon, Deji Alabi. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. Good. Awesome. So let's kick it started. To take it back to New York.
Hi, good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm going to take over Deji Alabi's position as a host today. We have, two of you men who are very knowledgeable about. I think, did we lose Dr. Ajayi?
No, he's going to be coming back.
Okay.
You want him right away?
Okay. Okay. I will speak to you first. Okay. So today's good afternoon, everybody. Right. Good evening in Nigeria. Good afternoon, New York. Good morning, Canada. And in UK, it's good afternoon or good evening. It will be. So we're going to be hosting. I'm going to be hosting today, asking questions because Deji Alabi has been like in the forefront of the healing process in COVID-19 with natural remedies. And there has been a lot of questions, and anybody who wants to ask any question can also ask on the comment sections, and we'll address those questions. So you have to be ready so I can read it quickly, or Deji will read it to me and we'll answer them. So good morning. Well, I'll call you professor or biologist. Now the first question I have for you actually is before you spoke to Reverend Sumbo, which was the person that made your remedies go viral for us, the general public, to hear about you, have you been treating people with COVID?
That's an interesting question. Okay, I was on a show yesterday, and I had to explain this. People asked me that question, and I had to tell them again. I'm proud to say what I do and how I get it done. It's Jesus all the way, right? I have to say that. And how did I refer? Why will I refer to that? At the onset of this outbreak, we began to pray. I have a prayer group that I will meet frequently. Some of them are on the show right now, and we began to intercede for the nations of the earth as regards what is happening right now. Mm-hmm. And then I know that because when Ebola came in about 4 or 5 years ago, in the center of Ebola, I had the solution to that as well, natural solutions to that. We encourage the public, we encourage the government on what to do, especially then I was in the United States of America. I went at the outbreak of Ebola. Then I came back to Nigeria and I started hearing all the funny things people were doing. And then we're like, no, this wasn't going to work. I spoke with my mentors who are also in the same field of health and wellness. We both spoke, we both spoke, and we all not just two of us, quite a number of us, we spoke, and then we all agreed on what should be what should be the cure, the remedy in the case of Ebola. Now, there are similarities between Ebola and COVID-19. So I knew that, whatever worked in the case of Ebola, we just need a few modifications for them to work in the case of COVID-19. And so after the prayers, I just had it in my spirit, and I began to study. I began to do my research. I began to find out, okay, if this and these were the things going on, then what can we do? And after all of the research and studies I did, I had to also contact people who are already on the ground, who were hitting the ground running. One of them is on the show. That's Dr. Ebenezer Ajayi. He's on the show. Because I wanted to be sure that whatever I do, which is the base of my training, whatever I do should be science supported. I do not do things that are not confirmed by sciences. They are also Bible-based, and they are time-tested, people-proven. I want to be sure that all those four principles are met in whatever I do. So I just had to make all those confirmations, because we don't want to do what's going to hurt the public. I'm a trained microbiologist with emphasis in medical microbiology, so I understand what the implications could be. My postgraduate was going to be in public health, so I've always my passion has been for public health, right? So when I'd handled other cases before, and so it was one of the people whose case I'd handled and then was successful. She was the one who just put a call through to me and asked me, please, can you become a PD? The PD, I have an aunt who is in UK, who is been infected with COVID. Can you please attend to her? So I can give her my number. And but in my mind, like I said yesterday on yesterday's show, yesterday interview I had somewhere, I said in my mind, I was like, this is a very good case. We need to try everything we've done. Let us see how it works. Because I knew it was going to work anyway. I have no issues about testing it. I just knew it was going to work because we have all the science researches and laboratory work to confirm that. I have the backing of God in my spirit, because I knew that I did the right thing and I was carried into all of those processes. And so I just needed, let us see who was going to use it first. And so when I waited for like 30 minutes, she didn't call me, I called her. So I was like, so he was surprised that I could call. I said, yeah, I'm calling you because I had you up this and that. I said, okay, what do you do? But at the point when she called me, the case was serious. It was becoming chronic, because she was already losing she could hardly breathe. I asked her if she had spoken with her GP. Her GP couldn't help. Nobody could help her at that time. It was at the onset of the case. The hospital weren't going to admit. No test could be done. They wouldn't allow her to go into the hospitals and all of that. So nothing could be done. I asked her, does she have anybody who is there? Yeah, thank you, Sandra. I was on her show yesterday. I was asking her if there was anybody I was around her that could help her and stuff like. She had no one that could help her, no one around her. So what do you have at home? So that was where I started the remedy from. And then because I just wanted her to be stabilized, and so that we can stabilize her. People are saying it's echoing on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm going to turn off my volume on Instagram completely.
Okay, if that will work, right? So if by the time because my first concern was to stabilize her, get her stable, so that at least get her out of that risky situation where she is and stabilize her, then we can now go ahead and then find what will be the following morning. And to God be the glory, we did that. I was able to help her get stable. And after the following morning, all the things I ordered, I told her to get to start coming in. I'm talking about stuff like the Citrona. She couldn't get Citrona right away. I had to tell her to get fever tree Indian tonic water, which also is high in quinine, and then so that she can start administering that. She had bitter cola at home, Katina cola. She started using that right away. And it's about 48 hours. I didn't even know she was, because I kept monitoring her like every 8 hours. I would know what was going on. I also had to take a high dose of vitamin C. Dr. Ebenezer is there. He was, when I called him and asked him, I needed data, I needed research, I needed papers, I needed journals. He was like, "What are you doing?" So we got calling him. I was like, "I need to know what happened, where." And the funny thing was that I'm not sure he too was expecting to see journals that would be as recent as COVID-19, but it was sending me journals to prove what has been done to test the efficacy of this solution on COVID-19 in the space of 2 months that the virus struck. Right. So I was like, fine, we're gonna go with this. If there are proofs. Yeah, the only thing we were considering again was that the method of administration during the test was not oral administration. Those tests were administered in vivo, some in vitro, some in situ. And those are all chemical terms. I mean, those are scientific terms. He will explain that. He will explain that. So,
so another question I want to ask you is, these remedies that you use on patients, have they been tested on, like, well, I guess you don't test natural remedies on animals, do you? Have they been tested for other things? Because, you know, with COVID, it has different stages to the disease. You have lung problems, you have, some people have diarrhea, some people have, of course, cough and a fever. So which one is which with these remedies? Because it's a combination of things that you use to cure these COVID. And there's a combination of things that makes up of COVID-19 itself. So how do you, since you're knowledgeable about natural remedies, so I guess you must have thought, okay, this is good for cough, this is good for fever, this it feels like malaria and all that. So is that how you did your combination, or how did you get to do the combination?
All right, thank you. Permit me to, maybe I'm going to adopt King Sunny Ade's song as my what do you call it right now? Maybe it's going to be my theme song or my intro song whenever I want to start a program. And what do I mean? I say that song will come to my mind like what you would say in the song, like there is something that before doctors and medicines came, there are things that we use to treat each other and to treat patients. There is a book you can actually go ahead and watch. It's titled "When There Was No Doctor." We can go read the book. Another book I also want to recommend is by Dr. Joe Wallach. Dr. Joe Wallach has had his license revoked several times for practicing in the United States because of his beliefs in natural solutions and cures. But his books is one book he wrote that I recommend is titled "Dead Doctors Don't Lie." Dead Doctors Don't Lie.
I'll write that down.
Right, so you can. I can put it up on the screen for us to see. He's one of my mentors. I revere him. One of the people I've been learning from for over 10 years. One other book again, which I also recommend highly, is a book of Dr. Colin T. Campbell. Dr. Colin T. Campbell is a professor emeritus at Cornell University in New York. Dr. Colin T. Campbell wrote the book. He was the first person to do a research on the impact of diet and lifestyle modification on demography. The book is titled "The China Study." The China Study, funny coincidentally, COVID-19 came from China, right? But the book has been around for over 20 years right now, running 2 decades. It's an all-time bestseller. It's something I would recommend that you read. So the things, the solutions, these natural solutions are things that have been, like I said, they are science supported, time tested. When I say time tested, these are things that have been in use for decades. For example, Chona has been used for centuries. It was the first, it's probably one of the first remedies for the cure, for the treatment of malaria. It was in the 13th century that it first came up. And then it was restricted to elites. The elites were the ones who was using it. Yeah, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Yeah, that is the title of the book. So they are not new things. Some of those things are things that have been here with us. Dr. Ebenezer may want to say that when it comes on when he's back here. I'm sure he's here when it comes up. But I want to confirm that what I have discovered so far is that most treatments that would handle malaria have been found to be effective in the treatment of COVID-19.
Yes, definitely.
So, yesterday, after the show yesterday, YouTube refused to upload the program. It was live.
Wow.
Yes. Again, like I said, and I'll keep saying, I am not supporting any conspiracy theory or whatever or anything. Whatever I do, I want it to be science-based and science-supported. I want to put all the proofs and all the facts out there for anybody. But what I will advise people is that you can read for yourself. You can study for yourself. If you want materials, you can as well approach me. I'll be generous to release materials for you to read and study and understand it so that you can separate the truth from the lies and from the rumors. some people who don't like me when I tell them 5G and COVID-19, there is nothing they have in common. People will be like, oh no, are you also supporting their theory? No, I will tell you where they clash. I will tell you where they meet. I will tell you where I feel like something may be wrong somewhere. In the course of the week, I completed 2 courses with WHO, with certificates, of course, WHO on this pandemic, because I'm not, whatever we do, like I said, I want to be sure that I'm covering all the bases. I'm touching bases everywhere. I'm not leaving any gap or any stone untouched. And if anybody asks me, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? I can give you answers, proofs to support whatever I do.
So that's good. That's impressive. And another thing I wanted to ask you was that, well, we have to put out a disclaimer on this show saying this is not
right.
We are not trying to tell people not to listen to their doctor's advice, their conventional doctors.
Right away. Thank you.
Yeah, and that whoever comes to you for treatment, comes at their own will.
Right.
I think if all fails, they come like we have Reverend Sumbo as a testimony, and several others that I know of, but we can't mention on the show due to their own personal privacy and stuff.
Right.
I know of several other people you have healed with this COVID. So another thing I was going to ask you is in regards to children. Because according to CNBC yesterday, there was on the news that 73 children in New York State contracted the virus COVID-19, which initially was it was deemed to be like children really don't get it like that. They just have a cold and it flushes away. But apparently, a young child, a 5-year-old, died of the infection, and they said it comes up like a disease it's a rare disease called Kawasaki disease.
Right.
That that's their own kind of symptom of COVID-19. So those kind of things. In regards to children, how do you treat the children with natural remedies if that's the way the parent wants to go?
Okay, there is something echoing. Okay, I think it's from your side. All right.
I think it's because I'm on both platforms. And,
I understand. Okay, let me say that for kids, now we are witnessing a different wave of this infection, of this pandemic, as it were, and then it's quite unfortunate that because I get a bit touchy when it comes to children because their bodies may not be able to sustain the aggressiveness of certain treatments, not just alternative treatments or natural treatment. I'm talking about treatment generally. So it's kind of, I feel touched when kids go here. What I will have to say is this. I think I shared with you sometimes back about what the statistics are saying. Yes, a few cases for kids are rising, on the rise right now, coming up, not on the rise. We still cannot, when we look at the figures, we still not compared to the number of adults who are infected, as it were. I do know that I've had cases of parents in the same house, parents in the same house with their kids. Probably the mom is infected or the dad is infected, and then there is nowhere to go. They live together. There is no way to stay. Dad should get out of the house and stuff like that. And then we've had to administer this same solution protocol, and then they've been well managed. The kids never had any issues. As a matter of fact, like I always say, that kids usually tolerate this well in most cases. But the point is that some of them could be asymptomatic. That is why we want to separate kids from coming in contact with adults, because they may look well, energetic, but might not be able to withstand. They are carriers, so they spread that to adults who come in contact with them. Now, having said that, let me also say this: that for children, you could apply these remedies, but be moderate about it, reduce the dosage. I always tell people, okay, consult. Why do I tell them to consult? Is because the people are different. I always want to put that that caveat also, that Cases are different. Age is important. We put it into consideration. We put their gender into consideration. For example, a woman who is pregnant, we would not administer certain things to a pregnant woman, especially a case like quinine. Quinine could be threatening to a pregnancy. So it's not something that we will advise that should be used. Dr. Ajayi is here. You might also confirm the efficacy of neem. I know dongoyaro at the onset, we had nothing to show that dongoyaro would work successfully for the treatment of COVID-19. But if the guy in Madagascar, that is neem, and that is what is in the Madagascar COVID tonic, COVID organics. If the guy in Madagascar have anything to that effect, Dr. Ajayi might be able to tell us that if they have anything to that effect to show that it's going to work effectively to work with. But I know that dongoyaro dongoyaro will be less aggressive as compared to quinine in the treatment of malaria, even for people who are in pregnancy. So there are so many alternatives that can be used, and even for children. Before now, I've also advised parents to use neem, dongoyaro for their kids. Not, yeah, I remember I did that once because they were like, okay, they can't tolerate quinine. I was like, okay, let's put that on dongoyaro. Not because they have the virus, but because maybe the mother has gotten the virus. The kids are like, okay, what do we do with it? They say, okay, put them on, use neem for them. Yeah, I remember that. 1 or 2 cases. And they did use neem. And the whole family today, they are offline. Nobody has the virus and like that. Like I was saying last week, the numbers keep increasing of how many people that consult, that do call for consultation, that we have to treat and manage through the process. I'm also careful of certain words, just like you talked about the caveat, which is showing on the screen right now. I want to avoid the word like cure. I want to avoid words like healing, but again, the truth is the truth. That man they brought to Jesus, they asked him, was Jesus a sinner? He said, well, one thing, I don't know whether he is a sinner or not, but one thing I know is that once I was blind, now I see. So if the people knew where they were at the onset of their infection before they came in contact with these solutions, and we call them remedies, and they use them, and it works for them. Who am I to say they were not cured or healed? They go to
exactly, and without going to
the test returns negative. So how do we
and another concern, which, and if anybody has questions, they can put it on the comment section so we can answer those questions. Another question which is my personal concern with natural remedies is what are the side effects?
Good.
What are the side effects? Because I hear a lot about, because I use a lot of natural remedies. I'd rather use natural remedies, personally for myself. I use it now that I'm older. When I was younger, I didn't. I never had agbo or any of those things as a kid. I just started using cinchona for the first time in my life during this COVID. So the thing is, people will tell you or they warn you that, it could be too much on your liver, because at the end of the day, it's medicine. It works for whatever ailment. So what are the side effects that people should, be careful of or be concerned about or just know about it?
Okay, like any medication or like anything, whatever is not used moderately will definitely backfire. I use water as an example. Even the water, as beneficial to the body as it is, you can overdose on water to the point that it becomes injurious to the systems and organs of the body. So we advise things to be done in moderation. Yes, yes, there are overdoses with natural remedies. There is nothing you cannot overdose on. There is nothing you can't overdose on. And so that's where the note of caution. Yesterday on the show I was trying to explain to people that one of the fears of people who regulate the use of drugs that are administered on natural products is how do we regulate the dosage? But for a long time, there has been an issue. But there has been a collaboration in the past few years that has actually resolved that problem. So that is not a problem anymore. But the problem right now is the problem of education. Just like people were educated, don't self-medicate, don't just go and be taking paracetamol. Yeah, because as good as paracetamol is, if you overdose on it, it has side effects. So the company producing paracetamol could sponsor that and tell people and educate people correctly. But there is no company who owns natural products. All these products are natural. So nobody is going to be out there to spend money on educating the public on the, on what to watch out for and what to look out for. So because nobody will sponsor or pay for it, they're like, everybody's like trying to throw away the baby with the bad water.
Yes, that's true.
Doesn't make any sense. So I'm saying, instead of us doing that, let us address the fears and the concerns. What are the concerns? And one of them is the issue of overdosing on some of these things. So we need to understand that you can overdose on them. So how much is too much and how much is enough? That is the gap, and that is where people are confused. And that is why I would always say that call, consult, talk to people who are in that field, talk to people who are trained in that field. Africa, this is my concern for Africa. All these things we're talking about, unknown to us, back doors, people are coming from outside of Africa to come and study these therapies, learn about these therapies, use these therapies, adapt these therapies, these remedies and these solutions to their own advantage. It's just like our languages. Even our languages right now are being studied, and I won't be shocked. They will export it back to us, and we will buy it from them.
Yes.
Just the way we export our crude oil, and we import the refined product. The same way we will export our language, our culture, and then they will import it to us. We will import it and we need to buy it from them.
And we package it. It's all about packaging.
So we need to wake up as Africans and get to understand what do we do. We have all our children everywhere in the world. Dr. Beniza is in Argentina, where he's doing his postdoctoral programs. I have somebody else on the show. He's in Austria. He was formerly in South Korea. He's gone there for his postdoctoral degree, and then now he's in Austria as well. I want to plead with them that they should make African remedies and solutions something to study, something to work on, so they can use the advantage of the infrastructure, the laboratories, the sciences they have over there to help people who are back home. These are the things that our own professors, our own researchers in Nigeria do not have access to.
But the question is, I'm going to ask you, the question is, people like you said you were in the forefront, like with natural remedies during Ebola, which was like, Ebola was in 2014 or so, around then, 2014, 2015. Now, we don't get to hear of people like you. A lot of the natural remedies that we think in Africa, we think had died with the generation of our parents and our grandparents. Like, this generation of people haven't welcomed the natural remedy. If it wasn't for COVID, I would never have heard of cinchona. I have never used any natural remedy, except I use supplements like vitamin C and things like that. And then later we realized that bitter cola itself is something that had been put into a capsule and sold over here, and it's our product.
You're right.
So those things, if we have this generation, talk more about the natural remedies as a supplement, because it's a supplement,
right.
As a supplement that people can use. Like, we use vitamin C, we use all these vitamin D, all these supplements, which is, vitamin D is from the sun, vitamin C is from citrus and all that. So if people like you and your team of scientists can come together and have a conference or educate us on natural remedies, which will give us a healthier lifestyle, and then by the time something grave like this happens, we're well prepared to know that, our body is already, prepared for stuff like this. That's the thing. It's not that we don't want to use natural remedies. We don't know people who are into natural remedies now.
Okay.
So how do you answer that? Where have you been between Ebola and COVID-19? Exactly.
I've been to London to see the Queen. Afterwards, I was at the Princess Diana Park. in I'm sorry, but
and somebody was asking also, I'm going to ask you, sir.
All right.
Somebody asked that she said she takes cinchona once weekly, every Saturday morning. Is that too much to take? She didn't say for how long though.
And then at what does she use? What dosage?
I think she will answer that because she's on Instagram.
Something we need to
what
know.
dosage and how long has she been using it for?
Right. Yeah. How long has she been using it for?
So
we need to know that as well. Again, like I also said, yeah.
My brother is on here. Hi, big bro. Thank you for tuning in.
Okay. So cinchona is something that we need to use that requires a whole lot of. I'm not saying. Like every other natural remedy, it has to be used with caution. Like I said just now about pregnant women, it's something that needs to be watched. If somebody's in pregnancy, right, it's something that needs to be watched, right. So for that person who takes it once every Saturday, might be okay, but I need to know what I mean, is it a glass? Is it an entire bottle the person takes once every Saturday? And for what purpose is the person using it for? You know, for like malaria products, you can use them as prophylactics, right? So in preventing. So if you are preventing, you are using for preventing malaria. If you use it once a week, that's fine. That's okay.
Forever or for?
Now again, let me also make this clarification that the human body is actually not built to sustain, to live on supplements. So if there is something that is warranting you to depend solely on supplements on daily basis, something is wrong. So we should look at the source. So what is wrong with you? Some people say because they are AA, they're always having malaria. And I have an entire book on that should be coming out very soon. I had a WhatsApp class on that some 3-4 years back, and I told them it is a total lie that anybody tells you the reason you're always having malaria is because you are AA. All right, yeah, we understand that people who have, so does that mean everybody should be sickled? No, we all can be sickled, right? So because people who are sickled, the malaria parasite falciparum does not have a way to find a platform to express on themselves. So that doesn't really, happen like that. So, but for people who are AA, it's like a level playing field for malaria to breed and to grow. So that is the reason they came to that illusion. But again, that is not the solution. There are several solutions. For example, let me say on this show, these are all areas that some people need to really get what's up. For example, people who have the BRCA1 and BRCA2 gene, which Angelina Jolie had, the famous actress, and then they had to remove her breast.
Because of her. Yeah.
She didn't have the cancer. She has not had the cancer yet. She only had the
gene. Her mother died of it. Her grandmother died of it. Her auntie died of it. Yeah.
She had the gene. They found the gene now. So does that mean that if somebody have the gene for brain tumor, they will cut off his head? Would that be the solution? No. Genetics are only indications of what may happen, what must happen. And so when people say it's hereditary, it's not hereditary. It's not the disease or the condition that is hereditary. What is hereditary are lifestyles, habits, dietary habits in people that they pass from one generation to another, consciously or unconsciously. I use this example of a lady who was cooking, and her daughter saw her that whenever mommy is trying to put seasoning in the pot of soup, she would dust her hand like this. She would do this. And then she would be like, Mom, why do you do that? Mom doesn't have any explanation for doing that. She just does it because she has seen her own mom do that.
She was probably taking out the residue of the salt or whatever it was.
Like that. So she called Grandma. Grandma, why do we have to clap our hand and dust our hand over the soup?
Oh my goodness.
No, maybe let me ask my own grandmother. And you see, we have passed across generations habits. And human beings are slaves to our habits, except we constantly break them. So when there's an indication that somebody can have breast cancer, all we have to do is to say the conditions for the fulfillment of that genetic prophecy in that person is what we need to alter. That is, if the person does not live in certain conditions that will make those genes to express, definitely those genes will remain dormant for life.
Like we're a product of our environment.
Well, like I said, two things: diet and lifestyle. So lifestyle will include what happens in your environment, where you live, how you live, the things that you do, right? And so if we can actually undo or address all of those conditions, then the gene will remain dormant for life. So there is no point going to cut off somebody's breast and then, or cut off, if somebody has gene for brain tumor, are we going to cut off his head? Like Yorubas will say that cutting off somebody's head is not the cure for headache, right? So we wouldn't do that. Okay.
Somebody else was asking, a lady here said, I juice ginger, lemon, and garlic. Then every morning I mix it with little warm water. Do you think it's good to continue doing it for my immune system, as I am an essential worker?
Can you say again? The person takes what juice? Sorry, I didn't get that.
She said, I juice ginger, lemon, and garlic. Then every morning I mix it with a little warm water. Do you think it's good to continue doing for my immune system?
Ginger, lemon, garlic is good, but I do not think, like so many people have several combinations which they do. Let me also say that what are we looking for? What are we looking at in doing using all of those stuff? One major thing is that they are antioxidants, and then because they're antioxidants, it becomes easy for them to stop the growth or the replication of germs or of any invasion in the body. So because of their antioxidative properties, that is why we advocate. We use them, and that's why they work. Not just now, even before sciences came, they are being used. So science now discovered the reason these things have been effective is because they are high antioxidants, right? So if you do that, you are just preparing your body to be in that stage as well, so that no germs can grow. It can fortify you, and it can help. It can help things work. So
thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And, we're going to call on Dr. Ajayi from Argentina.
Okay.
He's the scientist, and he's going to now give us more information on what you have told us.
Right.
Thank you, Dr. Ajayi. Thank you for holding on, for listening in and holding on. And you're welcome to the show today.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Would like to have your take as a
I'm
scientist.
happy to be here.
We need the scientific clarification and the scientific part of what Pastor Deji has been talking about all the natural remedies that people can use towards all these viruses and healing and getting better and living better. We need the scientific facts.
Okay, I will try to be as brief as possible. First, let me say that I am a biochemist. I'm not a virologist, but being that there are some foundational courses that unifies all life scientists, so we understand basic things about organisms. Okay. Having said that, I want to appeal to all of us that while we wait for a scientific consensus as regarding drug development or vaccine development for the COVID-19, we have to do certain things. We may need to do certain things to keep alive and to keep healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And while doing that, we should exercise caution.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say this background thing because I'm one of the people at the forefront of not abusing remedies, as much as they may be essential to help us to be healthy. Okay, so going back now to indigenous heritage that we have as human beings across different communities around the world. We are Africans, and we pride ourselves in the things that we hold in the
I think I lost your audio for a minute.
Yeah, we can't hear you right now. Dr. Ajayi, if you can hear us, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. We lost the audio. We can't hear you. We can't hear. We're not hearing you. We can't
hear you.
Okay, I think we're going to wait for him to come back.
Yeah, to reconnect.
Yeah, he will have to reconnect. Okay, so like what he was saying there, which is the reason what we're trying to advocate here, for us to be careful. Like I said, there is nothing that cannot be that cannot be abused. And it's back.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Now to go on. So going to the background of using tradomedical approach in taking care of the pandemic that is on now. Like I said, we have to be cautious. I'm going to be speaking from the background of food, your medicine. So we have, for example, we know that certain drugs, for example, like ibuprofen, there is a caution that's been raised on that because of the interaction it has on the AC2 receptors, and which may encourage the virus to gain more entry and affect people. We have been told to be cautious about the use of aspirin. Right. They only say that if you have some certain expression of symptoms of body headache or body pain, use paracetamol, which is acetaminophen. Okay. But telling us to use that is just to take the pain. It's not going to cure COVID-19, but to manage the symptom. That does not give anyone the license to go ahead and keep swallowing paracetamol, because that will cause liver damage or other complications. Said that they have been able to treat certain patients using chloroquine or hydroxychloroquine, either with or without azithromycin. Yes, some people have been said to have recovered from COVID-19, but a follow-up on them has also revealed some other complications. So I'm saying this background thing so that we should know that whatever remedy anyone is bringing to say we should use, okay, fine. The remedy might have not undergone clinical trials or certain validation. Whatever the person is trying to do is just to give you maybe a palliative to manage symptoms. Nobody is claiming that he is going to cure COVID-19 as at this point in time, especially because it's from the angle of natural remedies. Okay. So having said that, now, like I said, your food should be your medicine. I want to mention a term now that has been in use for some time. It is called hormetins. 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 I don't want to use the term drug. I don't want to use all these big terms. Hormetins are just more or less like natural things that when you apply in themselves, they are not drugs. But when your body elicits responses to these things, because the body sees them as foreign things, and drugs normally are also foreign materials. Xenobiotics, they are foreign to the biology of the body. So now using a term of hormetins, according to one of my mentors, Professor Suresh Ratan, he says hormetins are those substances that when you apply to a biological system, let's say our body now, they are not drugs in themselves, but they will push and challenge the body to express its own defense mechanism, increasing the body's immunity, for example, or certain other mechanism or mechanistic pathways, biological pathways, to help the body on certain disease conditions. So, for example, if you challenge your body with an extract or the fruit, the garlic, or you eat bitter cola, for example, bitter cola may not be a drug, an antioxidant, but we say it may have antioxidant properties because it can challenge your body to respond in a certain manner that may be very positive for you to help your health, boost your immunity, strengthen your body to handle diseases. So, saying Shinkona, saying cola, like cola, this, I'm not going to say this particular drug. So instead, let us use from the of food. These things form our foods. Let us use them from the approach of food so that we can be healthy. If they say don't use this drug, don't use that drug, it's for our own good. but nobody has ever told us not to eat, especially in this time of pandemic.
You're right.
I hope you get me.
You're right.
They have told you to eat. So you should eat consciously. You should choose your food in such a way that your food is your medicine.
Yes.
You should watch what you eat so that you don't eat in excess, so that you don't abuse what you eat. So I think the best approach for now, while we wait for a particular breakthrough in drug design or vaccine development, will be that we should pay more attention to what we eat. Let us embrace more of natural foods, organic foods, fruits and vegetables. Maybe less of at this time. Things that will not really help our body, we can drop them. We should embrace exercise. We should embrace breathing correctly. Many of us don't breathe correctly. That's what we call womb breathing. But many of us, what we do these days is shallow breathing. So make sure you breathe clean here. If you need to sieve it, let's say, what's the term I put down? If you need to breathe clean air and you have to put your nose mask, the environment is clean. If you're in lockdown, don't lock up your windows, lock up your doors. Keep them open.
Ask a question.
So if you are well behaved in your rooms,
I'm going to ask you a question. You said breathe clean.
We can do on our own.
Yeah. Sorry to cut you off, Dr. Ajayi. I was going to ask you. You said, it's good to breathe clean air. It's good to eat healthy foods and stuff like that, which is very important. All these natural remedies are important. They're fruits and vegetables and nuts and things that we eat. Like garlic is,
cereals,
exactly. So the science behind it is, what does something like cinchona, which is like the bark of a tree, and it's powdered. Some is powdered, some is still like a bark. What's the science behind that? What kind of food is that to the body? And what kind of and when we say we should breathe, for those of us who live in cities, like I live in New York City. Thankfully, I live in a place where it's not that dense in New York. So, I don't live in an apartment building or anything like that. But there are people who live in apartment buildings, who live in, dense, very dense neighborhoods in Lagos, in New York, in big cities. So how do you breathe in those kind of places? It's already, there are already contaminants, there is already pollution in the neighborhood. So that's what I'm saying, is like we need to understand, and we need the people who are normal people, who live in dense places, who are experiencing, polluted environments all the time. How do they achieve these things? Not for those of us who live in a place where you can go to the park, you can, get good oxygen and stuff like that.
Okay, let me quickly say this, that we should breathe clean air is a collective responsibility. We know there's a lot of pollution out there, but more or less, thankfully, as at now, to a large extent, the earth has rested for a few months. This is like the 9th week of lockdown here in Argentina. So a lot of recuperation has come upon the earth, which is good for the earth.
True.
So, but why we say that, okay, there are pollution, then we can not totally stop pollution. But around us, what are we doing? We can exchange. Our relationship with trees, green plants, has not been lost totally. Make sure you have a plant, a pot plant in your house. Surround yourself with green plants. Okay, now there are restrictions on movement. Some of us don't have gardens. We don't live in compounds. The former house I was living, we don't even see the sky easily.
Oh, wow.
The windows are not so open. Thankfully, we moved after the first 2-year contract. And where I am now, I have access to a balcony.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
So outside, yeah.
The only thing, at that time in that house, I was not able to see the sun easily, except I opened the door and step out.
Wow.
But now on my balcony, I can directly access sunlight. And the only thing I was doing that time was keeping my windows open so that the house is not stuffy, so that air can come in. We know air around us generally, on a general scale, is polluted. But how much of this air that we have do you grab for yourself into your lungs? If you do shallow breathing, you are cheating yourself. You are changing yourself. But if you do breathing into your belly, then you are more relaxed, you are more healthy. The
Like,
more
show us an
oxygen the
example, like
alveolar.
people need to know you do all the way down like that.
You don't have to keep sighing every time. Normal breathing, but breathe into your stomach.
Okay.
You know, if you breathe into your stomach, really, you realize that your stomach bulges. But many people are embarrassed because they don't want their stomach to bulge. So they breathe into their chest. So
Oh.
the lungs are not receiving enough quantity of oxygen. There is something called oxygen capacity. Even for people who have problems with COVID and they are on ventilator, how much oxygen does their lungs grab from the ventilator? It's also something they have to measure, the oxygen content that arrives to the lungs. If you breathe in and breathe out very shallow, you have not given enough time for your lung, the alveolar and everything to grab the oxygen, to interact very well with the oxygen. So you take it out and then you breathe the next one. So we should learn how to breathe properly. That may not be contained here. Then I said we should take clean water. Let me just read out some few things. I said, if hot water steaming as a home remedy will spare you from being placed on a ventilator, I think it's good to do it.
100%.
If fruits and vegetables will keep COVID away, as no drug or vaccine is yet in sight, I think it's a nice choice. By all means, eat healthy in your home. If warm or hot water bath in your home will keep from isolation centers, I think it's wise to do it. If clean air will reduce your chances, clean or filtered air will reduce your chances of getting infected, then learn to breathe appropriately. If exercise, preferably with good ventilation, more or less that we are indoors because of restriction of movement, if it will save you, then I think you should do it gently. I put the word gently purposely because there are certain levels of exercise that some people may not be able to handle. Okay, so that we don't land in the ER. Okay,
that's the place.
Like walking. Walk in your sitting room, walk around your bed. If you are in a one-room apartment, walk around your whatever object. But make sure your room is well ventilated. Then, if sunlight will keep you healthy, please get it in your home, in your garden, or a nearby space without violating restriction rules. Above all, do not panic because that affects your immune system. It will make you want to drink too much of an herbal formulation, for example, or to make you use an overdose of a medication, and that spells danger. And any herbal remedy you know that will take care of your respiratory system to relieve or alleviate discomfort and that can boost your immune system, this may be only used with caution and use it as food and beverage. Do not abuse it out of fear. I said before, that
that is why, doctor, I was asking, that is why we need guardians, like we need people to guide us in how to use these things, when to use these things. Like, I like what you said, like, it's food, we eat every day, so you have to choose the kind of food you ingest, which will help your immune system. I think what you're saying is it goes back to the immunity of like, we're trying to boost our immune system to make it healthier.
Is the basis of everything they have been talking about, how you can overcome COVID or how you can stay non-infected. Like I said, I tell you, many people are already exposed to the virus, but because they are asymptomatic, they do not know. Why are they asymptomatic? The immunity in their body is strong enough so they are not able to come down by the infection.
Yes.
I sent some slides to Pastor Deji. I wouldn't know if you can share it in any way for people to see. There's one thing we call homeodynamic space.
Yeah.
It's like an aura around every human being. When you are healthy, this circle around your body is very wide. When you are young, when you are healthy, it's depicted as something very strong, bright, and wide. But as you age, it shrinks. And other things that make it shrink is your exposure to diseases and how you manage them, what you eat, how you exercise, how you breathe, how you use water, several things. If you're a smoker, all of these factors, many. So it can affect how big this is, how it increases, or how it's maintained, or how it reduces. But when your homeodynamic space shrinks a lot, then any challenge on your health gets you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what we should do at this time, lockdown, if it's not well managed, can make people become very, very
Sick.
vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
to sickness, to falling sick.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you do in this period of lockdown? There are
Mhm.
certain things: breathe, eat, walk, sleep, play, laugh, be joyful, read things that will make you well engaged. Enough, I mean, not too much of news on what is bad about COVID, what is going on out there. Read something, invest in yourself, laugh, pray, meditate, love, practice gratitude, express hope, faith, optimism. Do not worry. So if you do all these things, so these are like home things. Then I mentioned hot water, warm water, cold water. They are things that can challenge your body to respond and
Yeah.
express certain hormones, certain enzymes, or certain upregulate certain activity of certain genes, then regulate some, so that you can be on a good side and be very healthy. So, like you said, what is it particularly in chincona? I
Yeah.
may not know. I did not find out any bioactive compound or ingredient in chincona, but every natural product, especially vegetal product, there are thousands of bioactive compounds. Some may choose to call them nutraceuticals, especially if they are applied as nutrients.
Yeah.
Some are not, some are anti-nutrients. Some are normal defense mechanisms of plants to ward off animals that can eat them up to defend themselves. Some are like some heat shock proteins. Some are peptides. So there are a lot of things
Things.
in natural products. So in science, we call them crude extracts. They
Yeah.
are crude. But to get to a level of drug development, they have to subject them to certain tests and assays to know which one of them is the one playing a good activity, maybe as an antioxidant or as an antiviral or whatever activity it
I
has
think that's where the
or
biochemists
properties.
come in because they have done the tests and they know what works. So
Yes,
thank
yes.
you
So
so
people
much.
have done things.
Yeah, I want to thank you so much, Dr. Ajayi, for your time. You know, it's very, very
Let me say one last thing.
okay.
Can you permit me to say one last
Oh
thing?
yes, sure.
Vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, selenium, and iron, they are good basic things that we should use very well. But do not overdose on any, because there is
Oh,
a daily limit. I will quickly read out a few things. The upper limit for vitamin C is 2,000 milligrams.
a day.
2,000. Do not exceed 2,000 milligrams. You may not know how to measure it, but do not keep eating just because you are afraid of COVID-19. For male, daily, maybe 90 milligrams is okay. For women, 75 milligrams per day. Smokers may have to add additional 35
Which one
milligrams.
is that? Sorry,
Iron
sorry,
for
I
men,
missed that one. Which one is
highest
75 milligrams?
vitamin C, vitamin
Vitamin
C,
C, 2,000 milligrams a day
vitamin C.
maximum.
Highest limit that the body may
If
tolerate
you're not
is
sick,
water soluble. So to
because
get an overdose,
sorry,
if you are
Doctor.
not sick, just normal daily.
Normal daily. Okay, because
Yes,
with
ma'am.
COVID patients, they give them much more than that. If you have a viral infection, even the doctor
Yes.
advised to use much more than
Hmm.
that.
I
So
know there's been given IV I've read before of up to 1,000 milligram infusion. I mean
every
IV
every
like
6
that.
hours,
But
every
that's why I said the highest limit the body may be able to tolerate is 2,000.
yeah, naturally every day.
No, do not exceed 2,000. So if you make your food your medicine, you can take citrus, take things that are rich in vitamin C. The good side is it's very difficult to have an overdose because it is water soluble. Yet
Yeah,
it's
it
usable.
doesn't retain. It's not
For
retaining.
iron, the highest limit is 45 milligram.
For what? Iron?
The highest limit is 45 milligram iron. And in men, it's like 8 milligram per day. And in women, 18 milligram per day. No, women shed lots of blood by monthly menses and all. So they need more of iron to replenish. For vitamin D, 15 mcg, that is for men, and 20 for women. For zinc, what's it called? Protects cellular integrity, the cell membrane integrity. And we know the COVID as a virus has to engage the membrane to enter into the cell and take over the replication mechanism.
Is like a fence around it.
So zinc, exactly, it's like a protection. It strengthens the cellular membrane. So zinc is also something we need, especially in this period of time. And for men, 11 milligram, women 8 milligram. Maximum is 40 milligram.
But the zinc.
Then lastly, selenium.
Doctor, the zinc comes like the zinc supplements. I wish I had brought my supplements here to the table. The zinc supplements they sell are like 50 milligrams. And it's like one a day.
Initial tablet?
Tablets, yes.
One a day.
Is 50 milligrams.
Well,
how
as little as 11 milligram or 8 milligram for women is okay.
Okay. If
it's okay. But the companies that produce that, at least they know why they have done it.
Okay.
The other thing I have to say is when you are using supplements already, you have to be careful also the food sources of these things that we eat.
So you don't overdose.
So that together they don't lead to overdose.
Okay.
That's why if they want to give a particular drug, they ask you, are you using any other type of drugs before? So if they know that what they want to give is already contained in the drug or supplements you're already using, then they have to measure out and see if you need that. So we have to be careful. So can easily be treated by what we eat, like difficulty in breathing, dry cough, chest pain, diarrhea. We have nasotracheopharyngeal clogging with mucus. Anything that can alleviate mucus, that can increase your capacity to breathe very well, that can take care of, that can make sure that you don't have fluid in your lungs. You can do steaming. Then there are certain exercises that you can do, touching the like 2-finger space lower than your clavicle. If you trace your clavicle from your neck up to your shoulder, and then you come like 2-finger a little bit from your neck, trace your shoulder on the clavicle.
Okay.
Towards your shoulder.
Yeah.
Then come down a little bit. A little bit. There is a depression, a soft part.
Okay, yes.
You see that soft part close to your armpit. It's on the other side too.
Okay.
So if you do massaging clockwise or anti-clockwise.
Okay, yeah, like that.
If you do massage clockwise, it can help you expel any clogging in your lungs.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
If you do it the other way, anti-clockwise, it can help you to breathe very well. I am able to say this because I practice as a bioenergetician and I embrace some other natural ways beyond food. Natural ways of, I call it breatheology, breathing, how to enhance your breathing, which is involved in exercises, mild exercises like yoga, Tai Chi, and Qigong, and some other Chi arts that I practice. You don't have to panic. While we are waiting for drug development or vaccine development, let us stay alive. It's only the living that can bring the vaccine out. And it's only the living that can choose to receive the vaccine or not.
All right.
So thank you.
Dr. Jai, before we let you go, thank you very much for your time. He graciously agreed to be on this show today.
Thank you for having me.
Today is his dad's birthday.
Oh wow! Happy birthday to your dad.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
To honor his dad and also the elderly who are the most vulnerable in this during this pandemic. And we really appreciate that, and we really thank you.
So I chose to dedicate it to him.
Yeah,
it's a good coincidence.
Me, right? On the show to him. But one more thing before you go. I like
Thank you.
you have made.
Okay.
And I understand, within the confines of what you are allowed to say, that right. That okay.
Of course, we have to reach a scientific consensus and be careful not to kill the people we want to take care of.
Right. It's very important. Right. Now, let me ask you this question. How soon do you think a vaccine coming from the sciences, how soon do you think a vaccine is going to be made available? I know you belong to several bodies.
I don't know because I am not working in the area of vaccines.
Okay, well, research is going on.
Yeah. There are researches going on. At least Argentina here, they have done the full genomic structure of the virus. Some other countries have done that. There was an institute I was opportune to visit in India back then during my pre-doctoral training. They have also expressed the genomic thing, and they even sent something. The CSIR, the Central Scientific Research of India, they submitted 53 genome sequences of the virus Indians to the. They also are planning to submit hopefully. So many countries, for example, they have developed a lot of things. They are in the pipeline. So I don't know how soon they may be able to say we have a vaccine. From the beginning of the outbreak, they proposed like maybe 1.5 years, and now like 2 months have gone. So if you try to work with that, maybe instead of 18 months now, you can say maybe 16 months. We are getting closer. But like I said, we have to keep alive one way or the other until the vaccine arrives. And then it's only the living that can choose to say, I will take vaccine or I'm not going to be vaccinated. So while we take natural remedies with caution, we can at least be sure that we will be alive to tell the story. So we should embrace all the medical advice.
Doc. All right, Doc. Thank you, Doc. I'll let you go now. Hello. Oh, we lost him. I was going to let him go, but I think we lost him. The voice. Yeah. I think we lost him again. Wow. So thank you all the way from Argentina. Thank you. Well, I don't want to say.
Thank you so much.
I told Sylvia, Doc is leaving for another meeting right now. Well, thank him so much for taking our time to join us on the show. The race is real. The work is real, and just like you see on the screen right there, this is not submitting for your doctor's advice or your treatment, and we will not advise that you go off your medication or your treatment without the consent of your doctor or your physician, as it were. Right from the like he has explained, from medical sciences, well, we call all of them food. And so eat your food, let your food be your medicine, and let your medicine be your food. Right. Okay. Is still, yeah, I think he's back. Let's see. Okay. Hello, doctor. Yeah.
Okay, yes. Thank you. I notice I have to refresh my page from time to time.
You guys don't have 5G yet in Argentina.
It has not been deployed. They are fixing the installation already.
Okay. Okay. So when 5G comes, I know we'll be having network issues.
Exactly. We have 5G already.
Of course.
Yeah, just like I'm listening to Sid right now. The program is not so fluid and it's not going, seamlessly. All right, so thank you so very much. We appreciate your time with us. Thank you for taking our time, and then we will keep open live.
Madagascar, and Bolivia have done clinical trials, but they are massively deploying knowledge of natural products. They have steam booths publicly in Bolivia. All these mobile toilet style that can take 1 person, 2 persons, and they have bigger ones. And their citizens can walk in, and they are boiling boiling different natural products, leaves, raising up steams, and people can stand in the booth for 10 minutes, inhale it, it takes care of all their body, and they walk out on TV. Although I think in the background, they are trying to work out some trials to have some clinical and scientific backup. And for Madagascar, they already had their product. I think they're already working with with the US to test it clinically. But while they are waiting for the outcome, they're already expressing it, giving it for people who cannot afford, people who can afford it. And Nigeria, in the Punch newspaper, that the Ministry of Health, I think, asks people who think they have something that can take care of COVID-19 to submit proposal, come forward in the traditional way to put to test. So I think people can step forward, and Pastor Deji Alabi can also step forward with the formulation he has been using, so that it will strengthen the veracity.
There are 3 people who have stepped forward as we speak.
Yes.
Professor Morris, who stepped forward almost 2 months ago.
Already, okay.
Pax Herbal Technology.
I heard about that.
I know that was the first.
Yeah,
that was the first time they talked about who wants to step forward. Again, recently, they are asking again that medical people should step forward.
They're asking again and again.
So we need more people to step forward.
Is not enough?
We have no, because if only 3 people step forward, it's not enough. What about if those three formulations fail?
Over 200.
So the more we have, the better.
There is a professor, but if we have 3 people, there's a professor in
combination of
Benin. There's a professor in University of Benin, a professor in University of Benin, professor of biochemistry in University of Benin, who also stepped forward with his findings and all that he has done so far on that. Some few weeks back, some professors from University of Ibadan also came up with their own points. So have
they tested these things on the SARS-CoV-2 virus itself? I don't think so.
The problem
now that they have stepped forward, they're not going to test whatever they are looking for on the virus. So if it fails, so we need more people to step forward. Like a group of mine with the Foresight Institute Research and Translation in Nigeria, and the Future of Medicine, Science, Technology, and Innovation in Olabisi Onabanjo. We want to respond to a grant in Canada with something a friend of mine, Mr. Adeniyi Boluwaji, who is having his PhD program presently in Benue State University. We also want to step forward to respond to a grant call in Canada with some Nigerians in Canada, 2 professors, a professor of virology, another professor of food biochemistry. So we need more people to, like you said, to try many things and find clinical basis for the veracity of this. If the more the merrier, if you find a solution and it becomes a drug in a very short time, it's better. So we can send me your recipe too, and let's see if we can write a grant for that. Collaboration is good.
Okay. I'll send them to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'll send them to you.
I was even going to ask him a question about stepping forward.
Okay, thank you.
There are people that have been using these therapies according to, like some people have used Pastor Deji's therapy. Some people have probably used Maurice Iwu's therapy. Some people have used the PAX, I think the PAX pharmaceutical, whatever it is, natural remedies.
Vaccine.
And they have gotten better.
A friend of mine also popped Daly's, his own formulation.
They positive initially, and then they use those therapies, and now they're negative. So those, I think, in itself are some form of trials that you can say these people have used these therapies.
No, clinically they are not trials.
Right.
But at least we should go to the lab, test these formulations on the virus. We culture the virus, we test against the virus, we see the effect of these things on the lung epithelial cells. If they are more dangerous on these normal body cells, as against compared to the virus, then maybe it's not safe. It contains may kill the virus, but more so able to kill the cells. So we have it's called XI. Something that kills the virus more and protects the body cells more.
All right.
So if it has a measure of 9 against the virus and a measure of 1, it's good. But if it is 9 of body cells that die and 1 virus dies, then it's like you using a sledgehammer to kill a fly.
Yeah.
So let us put all these things to test, and I hope that Nigeria will answer someday very soon.
Dr. Ajayi, briefly before you leave. Now, in the case of Jonah, in the case of Garcinia coli, right, clinicals have been done on these two.
Yes.
One, for the fact that they've tested their toxicity and their reaction on epithelial cells. We've been using quinine for long. It's not just now. We know that if they are used moderately, they do not have effect. If they are overused, just like another medication, they're going to have effect. And then you and I, okay, I must say that. I take that back. Okay, right. And then the Cinchona research on that also came out. Another one is the Chinese scorecard, which actually right now there are several publications also to that effect. As a matter of fact, one of the researchers leading the use of the Chinese scorecard is one of the ones working with WHO in their search for a vaccine, right? And then they've also done clinicals on this to see the effect on epithelial cells, just like you said. So why are we not adopting that? Why are we still waiting for long clinicals to happen, especially in cases like Corona that has been with us for a long time? I mean, for quinine, Garcinia coli.
Let me answer that. One good step forward, like stage 1, is where we are. There are still many stages. In the sense that when we gather, maybe by questionnaire, from people's experiences, folk tales, what they use in local communities, and they say, okay, when you have difficulty in breathing, we use this and it works. Okay, then we agree. Then we know that, okay, this thing has antiviral activity. But when we say antiviral, there are many viruses. This time, maybe not the SARS-CoV-2 virus, but some other viruses, maybe respiratory viruses in the past has been tested and certified, okay, this is good. And they have tested it against some tests, maybe their cells, maybe macrophages or lung epithelial cells, and they realize that it is safe. It does not kill the liver cells, does not kill the lung cells. Like, all these things are just like step 1, preliminaries. Now we have to take it further by testing it exactly against the SARS-CoV-2. First, in vitro, maybe in petri dishes. If it has very good activity, then go ahead, infect some rats or mice or rabbit, any good model, and test. Then probably again, we have to check again, infect some macrophages, some cells. The virus goes into those lungs epithelial cells, and then we expose them to the formulation, whatever, and if it is good, okay, you even have to do that before we go into animal studies. Then we now go into clinical trials. Clinical trials is when you now expose human beings, and that is because this takes a long time. Like, it's a stretch. But before that, like I said, it's only the living that can enjoy the drug when it finally comes out. So whatever we know that takes care of difficulty in breathing, takes care of chest pain, this in the breathing tract system, we can still keep using them as our food or as our beverage. Can steam with them while doing it cautiously, like all the things I've said before. Because if you say we want to wait and we don't do anything until the drug comes out, what's the essence when the person has already died? But all the same, as we are trying to go into the science basic of it, because of the history of certain antiviral properties of these things, then let us now take it and bring it, test it on the particular virus that is facing us right now. It will take time, but then let all nutraceutical or naturopathy we have, let us keep using them and let us keep safe. Then hopefully the drug will come, hopefully sooner than we expect, or maybe the vaccine.
Thank you.
That's my point of view.
I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Dr. Ajayi.
Thank you too for having me.
He was in the sister department with me when we were in school. We were from the same university for our first degree. He was in biochemistry.
He was my senior. I was the president of UCAD.
Tell him I was a senior. All right. All right. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of
Yes, of course. I'm grateful. Thank you, Mrs. Silva Babalola Kondi.
Thank you.
Very grateful.
Thank you.
All right. I'm getting some questions right now. Sylvia, thank you so much. Just hold on. Hold the line. There is a lady who was who's going to join us on the phone right now. It's going to be a call. I don't know how we're going to get this done so that people who are on Instagram will not
put her on speaker. You can put her on speaker.
I'm just careful about the echo. All right. So okay. All right. Yeah. So she just going to share her experience, what she went through, how she was diagnosed, what she did, and then. All right, you're online right now. The name is Moyo. She's on the phone. Can you hear her, Sylvia?
Yes, I can. Where is she calling from?
All right, Moyo, do you hear Sylvia?
I'm calling from Lagos.
Oh, nice to hear from you. How are you, Moyo?
Okay.
Can she hear?
Right, she can hear you.
I'm Moyo. I'm calling from Lagos.
Okay, nice to hear your voice. So, do you want to ask her the questions, or should I go ahead?
Go ahead. Just go ahead.
Okay. So, we want to hear your experience. You're live on all the 3 platforms: YouTube, Facebook, and IG. And we'd like to hear your experience about did she have COVID? Was she diagnosed with COVID?
What actually happened was that on the 24th of March, I noticed I was having cold. I thought it was just the mere cold that would resolve itself in no time. So the cold lasted for about 4 to 5 days. So later I discovered that I was having bites in my neck, in my throat. I was having sore throat. Something was biting me all over my throat. I didn't know what it was. But at that time I was very, very worried because I was scared, I was worried, I was so disturbed. So before then, I actually belonged to a group, a WhatsApp group, where I got a video. The content of the video is Reverend Tumbo's experience with COVID-19 and how she was able to battle it.
Yeah.
Naturopathy that helped her out. So I went back to watch the video again. When I watched the video, I just told myself, okay, I need to pen down everything she bought, all the herbs she used. I penned everything down. So I went to get them. I got everything she used. Because at that point, I was just suspecting that I had COVID-19. I wasn't sure. I just wanted to treat it the same way she was treating her symptoms. So when I bought those things, in between the cold and the sore throat, I had temperature too and slight headache. So when I went to get the herbs, I got everything she listed on her Facebook page. I got ginger, garlic, turmeric, lemon, and honey. So I bring these herbs to a boil. When fully boiled, I would pour in a cup. There's a particular cup I used for the measurement. I'll pour in a cup, then I will add lemon, half of my lemon. I squeezed half of my lemon in it. Then I would add a tablespoon of my honey. Then I would drink it. I was doing that thrice a day, morning, afternoon, and night. And then there's another mixture. That one is steam inhalation. That one is for steaming. I got onion, garlic, ginger, lemon. I think that's all. So I'll boil the onion, garlic, ginger, and lemon together. And also, the back of lemon, I'll peel it. The lemon peel, I'll add into the mixture. When it is fully boiled, I'll inhale it. I do the inhalation morning, afternoon, night, sometimes 4 times in a day.
Oh, wow.
And I was drinking the other mixture and I was doing the inhalation too. So I bought cinchona. She used cinchona powder, but I bought cinchona, the 3 packets. I bought the 3 packets of. Yes, I bought it and I cooked it separately. And I was also drinking that. I used to drink that morning, afternoon, and night too. So I revisited her page on Facebook. I saw that she put up Dr. Deji Alabi's Instagram handle. So I picked the handle from there. I contacted him on Instagram. we later got talking. He sent his number. We later got talking on WhatsApp. So it has been really, really helpful. So it was putting me through and guiding me on how to use the therapy and everything. So I was using them continuously like that.
Mm-hmm. For how long? For how long? Sorry. For how long?
Ma?
For how long did you use it for? How long did you use this therapies for?
I used therapies for 14 days.
Okay.
So wait, okay, let me make this very fast. So after having the sore throat, it later resulted into fast breath. These symptoms actually got severe in the middle of the night when I was sleeping. That's when it really, really got severe. During the day, I would be fine, like nothing is wrong. So I had fast breath, and I was so disturbed. I was calling him, like I was suspecting I was having shortness of breath, as one of the listed symptoms of COVID-19. He said, no, that was not, Dr. Deji said that was not shortness of breath, that would be fine. It was always telling me that I would be fine. So that also lasted for about 3 days. Each symptom would just disappear after 3 to 4 days. So this fast breath lasted for about 3 days. Then later I started having chest pain. I thought I had already recovered at that point. So when I had chest pain, I called him. So I was always calling and disturbing him, and he was always guiding me. When I had chest pain, I called him. He said that's the symptom people usually have when they are recovering from COVID-19. That was what he told me. So the chest pain lasted for like 2 to 3 days. Later, I had ringing in my hair. My inner hair was badly aching me. I told him about it. He said I shouldn't bother myself, that it was going to resolve itself. And then after the headache, nothing else.
Wow.
I was feeling so strong that everything was fine. Even when I was so healthy, I just told myself that I was going to finish up with the natural remedies. I didn't want to stop. I kept taking. So after like a week, I just stopped. So that makes 3 weeks altogether. But after 2 weeks, I was fine. I was no longer having symptoms. But I took the remedies. I extended it to 3 weeks. Yes, I did that.
Oh wow! So that's very good to hear, and that's amazing. And what were you eating during this time, or were you not able to eat at all? Because like the scientist said, Dr. Ajayi, food, everything you took is more or less like natural stuff, which is food that we normally eat anyway. Garlic, ginger, all those things are things we normally consume. And what else were you eating apart from those, taking those supplements and drinking it as food?
Okay. I was actually supposed to mention that too. I was eating fruit. I was eating fruit excessively. I bought pineapple, I bought cucumber, I bought orange and carrots. I was eating them. And during this time, I was able to eat my proper food.
Okay.
I never lost appetite for once. I was eating very well. And I was making sure that everything I took was hot. According to what Dr. Deji told me, he said I should always take hot things. But whenever I need to drink water, I should drink water excessively. Not excessively, rather. I should drink water from time to time.
Be hydrated. Dehydrated.
Huh?
You should be hydrated.
Yes. I should be hydrated, not when I'm dehydrated. I'm not supposed to take water when I'm dehydrated. I was supposed to just keep taking it like every 10 to 15 minutes, and I was doing that. He said I shouldn't take the water I would take should just be normal, ordinary water to room temperature. I shouldn't take hot water because the herbs I was taking were already hot, so I shouldn't compile the stuff, everything I'm taking. I shouldn't make everything hot. You understand? But every food I eat, I was making sure that I heat my food hot. When it is warm, I'll just warm it more to get it hot. So I was eating hot food. I drink normal water at room temperature, and my herbs were very hot too. I drink them hot. At least, in fact, they really burn my throat. They burn my throat whenever I drink them. So I was taking a lot of fruits. And hot food, and then ordinary water from time to time.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's wonderful. Thank you for that. Like for everybody listening, we have always put a disclaimer out saying this is not a substitute for whatever medication the doctors are giving you to use. This is not a substitute for you not to seek medical advice. This does not tell you not to go to your doctor for whatever reason. I guess you didn't get to go to the doctors, but for people watching and listening, you should always, at least your first port of call is to speak to your doctor first. And if all fails, you can go on this natural remedies if you choose to. But these are, testimonies from people who have used the remedies and who feel better after several weeks of using the remedies. And that is what we're here to talk about natural remedies, what people have used, how it has affected them positively. And the scientist, Dr. Ajayi, has advised Pastor Deji to submit, his remedies. So it can be patented and it can be used for clinical trials for other. I guess by the time that happens, the vaccine will be out anyway, because time. All these things take time. So, but thank you so much from Nigeria, and thank you for everybody listening. The things you use, which are things that people are using everywhere anyway. Lots of people are using different remedies everywhere, using it for centuries.
Yeah, Sylvia, that's my point, really.
They're using it for centuries.
And that's the reason we are here today. And like Dr. Ajayi said, these are things that have been with us. They're like our food. And I think I said that before Dr. Ajayi spoke, that these are natural things to us. These are things that have been with us for centuries, over the years. And so I do think that what we just need is the education on how to use them, the dosing, and all of that. Exactly. Right. I need to say something, because when Moyo was speaking, she mentioned that I need to correct that as well. Because we've had people who had highly and oversteamed their lungs. In the process of saying they are inhaling, they are taking everything hot and all of that. And then after the virus, then we now begin to have, after all the symptoms are cleared, then they start having issues with, breathing difficulty, they have pains. So I always advise, like Dr. Jai also said, don't overdo anything. Don't do anything out of panic, right? You now turn your entire apartment to a sauna. Everywhere is hot, like you are in air fire, because you are fighting against COVID-19. You are damaging, you are causing more harm to yourself. That's natural, right? But you are overdoing it, right? My advice is that what we say is that don't take highs, right? Because like here, when you go to get soda from any of the pubs, from any of the fast food joints, 2/4 or 1/3 of the cup is filled with ice, right? That is what we advocate against. That please don't do that and don't take cold things. But I would advise take water at room temperature. In fact, some of them after treatment and then they are coming up with issues of, I'm still coughing. I would just say, look, at this point, don't even take any medication. Don't take anything at all. Just whenever you cough, take a sip of water, and that's fine for you. Reason is that coughing itself is not the problem. Coughing is your body's response for fight off invasions in the system. Again, it could be a sign of recovery. So when you cough like that, just take water. Don't gulp the water. Just take a sip and you'll be fine. And then after 2-3 days, they come back and say, the cough is gone, I'm fine. And that, such happens. So the concern is that people should be careful. Do not, yes, absolutely. Thank you for that. Okay, I'm going to talk about that too. Organic teas. Very great. Yeah, great options. Very great. If you have organic teas, these are very great vegetable options that people can use, but don't begin to rush and say everything, you are causing more damage, right, to your system. And so we don't want to do that. And then the issue of dehydration, because I've had people who at some point, if I think Reverend supposed to that the whole mouth becomes so dry, you even feel the dryness like you are feeling it in your blood. I've had people who had come up with that also. And I'm like, of course, that might happen if you're not careful about the things you are taking into your system. And that will include taking hot water excessively. That might cause or lead to that. So you would need to be careful and do things moderately. we have been saying that, and I'll keep saying it. Moderation is very, very key. It has no substitute. Whatever we do, we have to be moderate about it. Whatever we use, either vaccines, either medications or drugs, either natural solutions or remedies or therapies, everything must be done moderately. Like the 2-finger therapy that Dr. Jai recommended, because he's a bioenergetician. I think we're going to bring it back. He's going to talk about that. When he told me, I was like, this is interesting, because I also believe in the imbalancing energy as therapy. And then that works a lot. Yeah, it's one of the new areas in medical sciences where people get treatment and solutions, right? So there's a way you can also, people now, I've gotten a message, that's why the program was going on right now, that I should explain that it's done. People now, you can even overpress. So the point, yeah, right. You can overdo it. So it has to be done properly and moderately. Don't overdo it. Don't do anything. I think I was sharing with you one of the videos we have done that has gone viral the most, or that is most on YouTube. I'm surprised. Is a video on anxiety and panic attacks. It's been viewed on YouTube more than any other video that we have done.
Because everybody's anxious. We're all anxious.
People are anxious. The problem people are having is the fear of the virus, not even the virus itself. So people need to know and learn that, look, you have to be careful. There's something to be afraid of. It's not a death sentence. And there are so many videos. Yesterday, before I went to bed, I saw one of somebody who passed away in the US, and then they came to the house to take out the body. And the people who took out the body, they put it in a I don't know what we call this kind of in a van anyway.
A rental truck.
Thank you. In the rental truck.
Yeah.
And then later on, I read it was not a COVID-19 related death. Whether it is true or not, there are so many people have gone to wake up stories of people that were buried en masse during some dangerous war times. Some 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago.
People who went to live here and died. Yeah.
They put them now on social media. And when you watch all of these things, they get you, they give you panic attack. You begin to panic. You're afraid. That's why, please, if you can stay away from all these negative news, please stay away from them. If you have anybody who is sending you some unnecessary stories on social media, please block them for now. And then, it's your choice to even open some messages. So you shouldn't be too curious also. This is the time to reduce your appetite for negative news. Humans, we just love negativity. Somebody, for example, so many people have not even shared the story, the spread of, okay, this is what you can do, this is what you can do. But the moment they get the story of 1 million people are dead, they forward it to everybody on their list. Why? Why are people like that? And I even saw one. The person said, since I have read it, I've opened it, I'm not the only person that will see it. I want everybody to see what I have seen. Something terrifying. That's wickedness. So it's my advice that we can be safe, we can keep ourselves, and then without panic, without fear or anxiety. And I think everybody's going to be okay.
That's a wonderful one. So we're going to take a few questions before we close out for the day. I think Pastor Deji can see the questions. I can see the ones on IG, on Instagram. If you have any question, are you on Instagram?
Yeah, we're still on Instagram.
Yes, I am. Okay. If you have any questions to ask, this is the time to do it. And the show is very enlightening and very interesting. Like when he was talking about steaming, I read something about the steaming too, that it was circulated on WhatsApp, not on the news media, on the real news media. So I'm not sure whether it's true or not, because you don't really, the things you see on social media is not exactly what it really should be. So, but they said a lot of Africans or African Americans that the steaming is hurting their lungs more than helping them. So, okay, they said they're curious to know if Moyo, the lady that just spoke, if her family members became infected.
Oh wow, she's already
leaves with family members. If she
probably... Now, in the case of Moyo, she's off the line right now because it's one of the few questions I ask. I do my preliminary questioning before I undo anybody's case. She told me, I think she was on her own. I think so, right? Because I remember that was one of the days I was like, it was so terrible that I was like, okay, let me even see, let me see your. You're sounding like you're going to pass away anywhere from now.
Wow.
Let me see your face.
Wow.
Let me feel that you're going to make the next night and something like that. I think she says she lives alone on her own or something. I'm not sure.
That is really scary. That was my question too. I was going to ask you, Pastor Deji, if sometimes some people have it, they go into self-isolation in a room in the house, and other people who live with them, are they, well, do they, some people don't get it and some people do. How does that happen? How does that work?
Well, because now what WHO is advocating and what all of us know is that for us to properly handle this pandemic, we need to pay attention to testing. I mean, we need to do more testing. Mm-hmm. The fact that somebody is in a house and the person is gotten it, and then other people are in the house is like they are not showing symptoms. It doesn't mean they don't have it. But because we do not have adequate testing, so we don't know whether they have it or not. But if you talk to somebody who is symptomatic and every other person in the house is asymptomatic, so they are not showing any symptoms. But it doesn't mean that they don't have it. They are not cleared, as it were, because we know that, we know how to get it, distancing and all of that. But again, like when all of this started, I remember making it so strong that the fact that everybody is having it does not mean it's everybody who even comes in contact that is going to go down with it. So if your immune system is in turbo, if it's strong, you are fine. If your immune system is compromised, and again, one of the things that compromise an immune health, there are things that we cannot measure. So we don't even know when it's up or when it's down. That is the reason we cannot advocate to say, okay, go and build your immune, and that alone is going to sustain you or keep you. We cannot advocate that. That is going to be suicidal for the entire, because there's no way we want to measure that, except we want to go and start doing blood tests again. So that will not be necessary. So it's possible for two people to be in the same place and be exposed at the same time, and one person comes down with it and the other person may not have it.
Yeah.
It's very possible. But that possibility is not something we want to stress because it's not something we can measure for the safety of the public. So we can't advocate that. But again, we advocate, please ensure you do things that will not compromise your immunity. And worry is one of them. Anxiety is one of them.
Right, reduces the immune system.
Right.
And so the main thing is we just need to eat healthy, use our supplements, get our immune at optimum health. Immune system at optimum health, like you said, turbo health, so we can fight any and every virus that comes our way. So really and truly, people can actually fight the virus without taking anything if their immune system is really high and really strong. That's what it is, right?
Right. I hope I got you right, but that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. What I said was, if your immune system is at top notch, like very, very strong,
right,
the virus can go through you and you won't even know you had it.
It's possible. Very possible.
Someone is asking a question.
Yeah. He said, how can someone confirm if the test is real negative and not a false negative after getting the same result twice? Well, real negative and false, I don't know. I'm not a well, because we know that there were reports of in certain areas where people came down with false results. There were some news like that in the media where the results were false. Again, the fact that they are scientifically done does not mean that there is no space for error. Things do happen. I remember there was a time when I was doing my I was doing some stuff working in an hospital, then we're working in the lab. I remember that there was a situation where people that were not HIV positive were given result of HIV being HIV.
Wow, that's scary.
In Nigeria. So
that's why they said it's always good to get second opinion.
Yeah, human error, we always also give room for that. Human error. So that's the reason a second opinion, I think maybe that's what this person is talking about. A second opinion, a second
in a different location, yeah.
Yeah. Even when people are tested positive, I mean, a second test is also, advised. Yeah. So, and there are so many. Maybe on the next time on the show, we may actually talk about the various testing, the two type of tests that are available, which is done, right? I think I'm seeing another question. Is it okay?
Is it okay to drink
garlic and ginger concoction every day? Oh yeah. Now when you say drink garlic and ginger concoction every day, what I do is that I introduce garlic and ginger into my everyday food.
Yeah, we use it to cook every day. Yeah.
Cook with ginger, cook with garlic. These are spices that are natural and are better than all the seasoning people put that contains MSG and are dangerous to their health. Right?
Okay.
Okay, doctor is telling me something. That's what I'm saying. I know we'll talk about that next week. Yeah, he's telling me something in the test message that some testing and results they do lie with the kids employed. Yeah, but we'll talk about that next week. So, like I said again, so please introduce this into your food. Introduce garlic into your food. Introduce ginger into your food. Make them what you ought to take every day, and then take the tea, which is the first thing I always recommend. The garlic, ginger, turmeric tea. I always recommend that. Something is just part of your meal. Take the garlic, take the ginger, take the turmeric, and then the cinnamon, boil, drink. It's part of your. It's like food to you.
They have them in tea bags already made anyway. Lemon and ginger tea, turmeric tea with lemon, yeah.
Right. So we can do that, and everybody will be safe. Even for those who are self-isolating. Yeah, this is Ali. We can't go to Ghana today. This is Ali Hafia from last week. You remember, from Ghana?
Oh yes. How are you? Yes.
Right. She says even for those who are self-isolating, they should also take measures to take care of themselves. Don't just lock yourself up. Yeah, I think Dr. Ajayi mentioned that again. We said last week. Lockdown does not mean lock yourself up like you are in a cell or in a prison. You need to take in fresh air, breathe in proper air. It's medicinal. It helps. It's healing. If you do not do that, you are going to be, compounding your. You'll be compounding. You'll be putting yourself at serious risk. Okay. Yeah, Reverend Tumbo could not be with us today. Right. Thank you for cheering us on. We appreciate your spiritual and moral support. Thank you. All right. Do you have another question? Somebody? I think there is one on Instagram.
I'm trying to see. Okay. Kindly advise how the elderly people around us with underlying medical conditions. They want advice on if you live with your elderly people and they have underlying medical conditions, how do you take care of, keep them safe away from getting sick?
My advice, which is general advice, I recommend 3 layers of security for them. If you cannot completely take them away from, as in you can't keep them somewhere else aside, away from where you have people who are still active, who are still going to work and coming back home, because I think they are the most vulnerable, especially even those who have underlying conditions. That is even much more, So that would be my first advice. Can you keep them somewhere where the access to people who are, who can be exposed is reduced? That was the first one. Then the second one is that if they live with people who are exposed and who can be easily exposed and living, can we put up some measures? Can we encourage, and educate those people properly on what to do because of the elderly person who is living there? Let them observe issues of hygiene, issues of hand washing. Let them take it very seriously. And when they go out, let them also protect themselves, because their own protection, when they have the protection the elderly person in the house gets. And then the third layer of security is for the people, the elderly themselves. How do they protect themselves? How do they keep themselves even at this time? Number one, let them ensure that their vitamins and supplementation are going on regularly. They should maintain a proper check with their doctors. This is not a time to just stay away off your medications or keep away from what your doctor is advising you to do. I've had people who are treating high blood pressure or hypertension who do not have a tetanus feed in Nigeria. sometimes the amount of your cell phone is 3 times more expensive than a person's Fig. This Fig is Fig manometer, which you use in measuring your blood pressure, taking your blood pressure reading. Omron is a very cheap. I'm promoting a brand right now that won't give me any money. Okay, you can get from Omron. You can get from Omron. You can just go to any pharmacy in Nigeria. You can buy this. I think that between 15 and 20,000 naira, because you should keep this reading and take them daily. And you're advised to also keep a journal of your readings. All of these are ways to protect yourself. That is your first line of defense. If you can actually do that, protect yourself first, it's easier. And so if anything goes wrong, we can know what to do with you. So it's my advice, especially for people who have the elderly living with them. Make sure you are monitoring their situation or their condition as it were. That would be my advice. And then the combination of the tea, garlic, ginger, turmeric, moderately applied for them wouldn't harm them. I mean, rather it could also boost or help them, as a case may be.
And somebody was asking a question. She said her question was not answered. I told her to ask again. I have asked several questions with no response. Please kindly respond. Can you please write your question again, because the screen keeps. I was trying to respond to you and my phone was acting.
Who is the person? I've asked several questions.
Sophie _.
So sorry, can you please say it again? Probably it was on the other, when we were live the other time on Instagram and it went out. People on Instagram, we are so sorry. We're not having the best of Instagram like we're having on Facebook.
It's just rolling, exactly. It's really...
Instagram does not allow us to, to stream into their platform.
Okay, she said she asked about neem. What about neem? She was asking something about neem.
Okay. Don't worry, I'll take that. Okay, about neem, right? Neem is dongoyaro, and that is what is in the Madagascar COVID organics, right? Okay. Which I've also said at the beginning of the show that
taking three small cups of neem every day for malaria, is it okay?
How many every day for malaria?
Yeah, is that what she's been taking for
everything? Well, like I said, I've also said this as well. I said, please and please, you are not, your life shouldn't depend on what you cannot, everyday medication, supplements, herbal treatment is wrong. One of the reasons I disagree with the people who do the Deji, whatever, all those concussions for people who are stuff. It's like if they don't do it, they cannot poo properly. If you have to depend on stuff for you to detox properly, then it's a regular thing. That is wrong. It means something is wrong. There's an underlying condition that should be addressed. That is one. Number two, is that there's a habit that you are engaged in that needs to be corrected. Because
she's been doing it for 2 days. She's been doing it for 2 days.
Okay, for 2 days for malaria.
Yeah.
I think let's not do this right now. For malaria, there are other treatments you can engage in. Please go get proper malaria treatment.
Exactly. Malaria treatment is available, readily available.
So please go get malaria treatment, please.
Yeah.
Please, I am not. Whatever I do, I am not averse to medicals. No.
Yeah, if you have malaria, you should see a doctor and get malaria medicine.
Go get malaria medicine and treat yourself properly.
It's always important to see your doctor first.
Yeah.
I mean, this novel virus is something that nobody has ever experienced.
Right.
And that's why, but for malaria and things like that, advice is to go and see your doctor.
Right. Awesome. So I think I'm echoing Pastor Dr. Jayi's mind. Yeah, I've said that medical checkup, especially for people who are having a dying condition, is very important. It's not the time for you to stay away from your doctors. Do your medical checks yourself. If you have diabetes, I believe you should have the glucometer with you. You should have a personal glucometer at home that you are using. These are things that you should take care of your health. How can you be using a phone of 250,000 naira? You cannot buy what will save your life that will cost just about 15K, 20,000 naira. What kind of policy is that? Please take care of yourself. Do money. Even if you don't have high blood pressure, my advice is that the moment you are crossing the age of 40, 45, you should have a personal Fig. You have it at home and take care of it. It's just for yourself. It's like having your toothbrush. Measure things yourself. Somebody say, can COVID-19 be detected through blood test? what kind of blood test? What kind of blood test is the point? I don't know why that person is asking that question. But if you want to have a test, if you go to right now, there are test sites. I do not believe in Nigeria that private laboratories are allowed or are carrying out any test on COVID-19. We are out again.
And I think with COVID, people should know that they have special centers where they test for that.
Right.
So anybody that says they can test you for COVID is probably not the right way to go.
Exactly. And
then
maybe
special centers.
If you go to on our IG page, we have those numbers there. Those numbers came from NCDC in Nigeria.
Yeah.
People numbers you can call.
So maybe every country's CDC or NCDC or whatever, right. So they know where they can go.
Where they can go, yeah, they can go there, and then when you call them, again, because of limited test kits and all of those that are available, sometimes they don't want us to test everybody. Right, so they might tell you, okay, take at home and do stuff like that. But again, people are getting tested. So if you have any issue, you think it's urgent to be tested, they will test you. But if it's not urgent, we can't be doing random tests. There was a time I had a Nigerian celebrity took all his gang member and they had a test. I think that was an abuse. I do not know how that was possible at a point in time where members, even people who are working at tops in Nigeria, they couldn't even get tested. I mean, I don't understand some of this. So tested for, at the onset and maybe up to like last 2-3 weeks, is still selective and it's based on the severity of the case. So don't try to just say you want to walk into a laboratory and they get you tested. Don't let anybody scam you, right? Yeah. Okay. What else?
So any more Nigerian factor?
What can someone with low neutrophils eat to boost their neutrophils and WBC, white blood cell blood counts? Okay, I have put a caveat here. I'm going to put it back. Whatever we do here is not a substitute for your doctor's advice or your treatment. We believe strongly that you should consult your physician for advice in any case. So whatever we say here, if you choose to take it and use it, is at your own risk, right? So we will not be liable. That person can actually boss me and send me a DM, then I can actually look at the underlying factor. It's not enough for you to begin to boost your neutrophils. If your neutrophils are getting depleted, it means something is wrong. So there's an underlying condition that we have to address. So let's address the underlying condition first. It's not enough to start taking out the fire when the fuel is still burning at a very high level. So I wouldn't just give a general solution to that. Right.
Somebody was asking, what do you say about Bobo Nishe? What's that? Like, what does that mean? Or maybe Opa or something, I don't know.
Okay. Bobo Nishe, no. I may not put my hand down for those. Seriously, for people who had used the Cinchona, people who had used Awapa also, you remember that I always tell you order it fresh and make them in your own kitchen, which is why when Dr. Jai was telling me to come forward and put forward all of this, I will think about it and I'll probably put it forward for it to be tested and let them work as well on it. Because I believe that whatever I'm saying are natural things that anybody can do in their kitchen. I don't need to go and package it in a bottle for anybody to drink and sell. I don't think so. That's my opinion anyway. I may be wrong, but I just think that natural things you can prepare. All those Bobo Nishe, again, they are one of the issues people have. People in the medical science, they are one of the issues they have with people who use them. Method of preparation. How hygienic is it? How long have they been in the bottles? Who have been carrying them out? What have they touched? All these are reasons we question their efficacy and then what they can do. But these are things that you can do right in your own kitchen. So what's the big about you just ordering your stuff and getting it done yourself? And then you can get it done yourself, right? And then do it, and then you'll be okay. So there is no need for, you don't need anyone to to do that for you. So all those Bobo Nishe, all those Bobo Nishe, Akporo, and all of those things, I'm not saying I've not tested them. I don't know if they will work or not. And I'm not saying they will not work, but I prefer what you can do for yourself in your own kitchen. And, you know, prepare like you are cooking your meal, just like Tajaya advised. I would do this as if it's your food, which is a good approach. Which, you know, is a good approach. So he just borrowed me some other tricks today. So I will apply them. Oh, wow. We've been on for like 2 hours. Would you believe that?
You have for pregnant women at this time. Thanks. I think they should go back on the video. You spoke about pregnant women in the beginning. She's asking about what advice you have for pregnant women at this time.
Okay, yeah. Well, please, I've spoken it, like you said, I mentioned that at the beginning of the video. Quinine is not an option for pregnant women because there are implications that it affects women in pregnancy. It could affect pregnancy, so quinine is not. So you could look for some other methods or other things that you can use, and you know, that are less aggressive on the body. Right. Wow. What a show we have today. Are we done?
Yeah. Today has been very, very exciting.
Really?
Very excited. Is even a lot of the viewers answered my questions as well that I would have asked you.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, it's been really uplifting to know that there's certain things like yourself and like Dr. Ajayi said, we should stay alive till we get the vaccine approved. True. Or, you know, they find some whatever medication that they're doing all sorts of tests on. Very so true. We should eat our food, eat our plants, eat our food, drink our plants, sleep well, stay healthy, breathe, you know, have good oxygen. And thank God for, you know, people like you who you're going to submit your all your remedies.
Dr. Ajayi said if I submit it, probably before the vaccine. Is that what he said? I think I heard before the vaccine.
Yeah, he said you should submit it, so they'll have trials. I don't know how quickly the trials will come before the vaccine, because they're doing trials on the vaccine as well. So we don't know how quickly, you know, all these remedies will be tested before the vaccine comes out. But since we always have had this as food for centuries, even, you know, in the days of our great grandfathers, they had all the leaves and plants and everything to heal themselves and to eat as food. So the thing is, we should just keep eating and drinking and being healthy, and that's the good thing. And thank you, Pastor Deji, for always, you know, guiding us. That's what we need, guidance, because we can overdose on anything. You know, even eating too much is not good for the health. Overeating certain things.
True.
So we can overdose on anything.
There's a question I'm seeing here. Somebody said he asked about PCM and Tylenol.
Yeah.
Thank you. Please, can you just allow me to make that clarification? I wanted to make that some time ago, and when I listened to the video, I discovered what I said was the wrong thing, right? Somebody now asked me the question. I had to make that clarification to the person, and I've been meaning to.
Paracetamol and Tylenol.
Yeah, because acetaminophen is just the general is a general name, right? Paracetamol or Tylenol. Paracetamol is what it's called in the UK, in Europe.
Nigeria.
Yeah, acetaminophen is what it's called in the US. So they are kind of, it's just the Tylenol is a brand name, and Panadol is a brand name, right? So what we try to describe it from using is aspirin, ibuprofen, which is a different brand, which are different chemical stuff entirely. So we do not want people to use that. So you can use paracetamol, but use them moderately. Do not overuse them. And it's just to take away the pain. It's not like paracetamol is going to cure or heal COVID-19. But like when sometimes people talk about pain, you know, aches, headache, some pains at the back. So just take paracetamol, and that's usually after the treatment is done. Like, okay, after the treatment, they feel all those pains. Again, sometimes those pains come because you've been sitting down for a long time. You've been lying down for a long time, 2-3 days lying down. Your body is not used to it. And this also will make me talk about exercise, physical fitness. You don't lock yourself up in the house, like Dr. Ebenezer advised. You know, some things that you can do to be physically fit. It helps your body, it helps your muscles, and you can be fine, right?
And a lot of stretches. I do yoga, stretching, and things like that.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Little walks, down the block, and yeah.
Right. Awesome.
It's very important. I think one should also encourage them to have, some kind of physical activity.
Really, yeah. I also tell people that, look, if you live in the place, get out of your building, you can take a brisk walk early in the morning before the sun becomes hot. Walk around like 30 minutes, do that again, another 30 minutes, depending on the kind of place where you live. So, there are a lot of things that you can do. I'm not saying now that go and start working out in the gym like you're going for the Olympics. That may be too hard, that may be too much, and it could be fatal. So I will not advocate that, Somebody's asking, what about Alabukun? Alabukun, as a matter of fact, I do know that Alabukun was banned at some point in Nigeria. I do not know whether it is still advised to be used. I know that people were advised against the use of it. I don't know the situation. Maybe it was because it was adulterated, or I don't know. I cannot say, but Alabukun will fall under aspirin, so it's a no.
Oh wow.
Yes.
I didn't even know it was that. I remember fencing.
Oh my God. This question. Do you want to?
People are asking, is yoga godly? If you're not chanting anything, it's like a form of exercise. You stretch your body. Whichever form you stretch your body, it's like, I know there has been a debate about yoga about that.
No, I'm done.
I don't think it's got anything to do with being godly or ungodly. You're using your body, your God-made muscles and tendons and everything, and stretching it. I don't think it has to. I'm not saying a prayer with it.
Alice says Alabukun was highly abused. It was turned to an enhancer by drug addicts. Oh, really? So doesn't mean possible. Anything people get high or anything these days is still very much in the market. Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
We need to be careful about it. I don't know. Even aspirin, normal aspirin, I'm not saying aspirin is bad, but even aspirin, if you take aspirin, it could give you some gastrointestinal disorder. So there are all things that you need to watch out for. You take it, you're supposed to take antacid with it. So that somebody's asking about zinc gluconate. Please go back and listen to this. Dr. Ajayi spoke about the recommended dosage, the daily recommendation for zinc. He spoke about that, so you may have to replay them. I've already started for people on Instagram. This is going to be the third one. So we've had one, we've had two on Instagram. For people on YouTube, it's going to be one straight video. For people on Facebook, it's going to be one straight video, and you don't have to, rewind them. So you can go back and watch again, please.
I have one question. Okay. What about for people who have been put on low dose aspirin as their daily regimen because they are, they are older and they have, the risk of getting a heart attack? Those kind of people, they're still using their medication that their doctors have prescribed. So when people here don't use aspirin and all that, I hope they won't think they're supposed not to continue their medication. Because some people have low-dose aspirin as their daily routine medication.
Right, yeah. So people have low-dose aspirin as daily routine. There are some conditions that the people live on aspirin. That's a doctor's recommendation and requirement, which I think they should keep to. And like what we have been saying, that we do not advocate for anyone to go off his medication without consulting their doctors. I do not advocate that. When I have patients who have high blood pressure, what I've learned over the years is that as they do the things that we recommend for them in their diet and in lifestyle modification, the blood pressure begins to crash, right? And so as it reduces, because I always advise, take your measurement and your reading, they keep a journal. The journal also, they show it to their doctor, their physician. So as the doctor is seeing that the blood pressure is coming down, he's also regulating the dosage of the medication is given to them. Because also it's dangerous, they have hypotension, which can also be fatal. So there is a balance. So I always tell people, look, I manage you in respect with regard to what the doctor is doing for you, not in isolation to what the doctor. So it's a doctor that will now recommend after that, in fact, some of them don't even tell the doctors that I'm treating them. They will not come to say, oh, I'm doing this. And the doctor will say, okay, fine. Whatever you're doing is working for you. Go off the medication. You don't need the medication anymore. So it's not always advisable to go off your medication no matter what you are doing. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, I'm not going to talk about that.
Already. It wasn't specific on what type of zinc.
Zinc. He spoke about using zinc. Yeah. What type of zinc again? Talking about the supplement you buy them off the shelf, and then you use maximum 40 milligram every day. Yeah, I know that most of the zinc out there is in 50 milligram, which is okay. What I advise is that you use one a day. I mean, just to keep your body going. And I think that is still fair. It's something we can do. So we don't have to stress that 50 milligram, 40, 50. I think you asked him that question and he answered it, that the people who made them know what they are doing and that you can use them. I think that was what he said.
Exactly.
Right.
Those things are already made. They've been there, just like the natural remedies. So those are things that are easily accessible to people, and they can get them and ask. Everybody has to always seek advice from their doctors. That's what, with me, I use natural remedies, but I go to the doctors regularly. I get tested regularly. I get my physicals done regularly. I do everything with my doctors regularly. So it's always advised, because they have the tools to do like a blood work or whatever it is that's going on inside of you. And then you can now say, okay, I'll use natural remedies for this if you choose to. But it's always advisable to see your doctor regularly. So,
right, very, very true.
Yeah, it's very important.
Keep with your doctors, do your check. Yeah. If you see, well, again, sometimes I don't want to advocate for people to buy those supplements that are usually mixed together. For example, you buy vitamin D3 in combination with, they have all these combinations they put together. Sometimes I don't want to advise that. Sometimes I say, just make sure you buy, if you're buying zinc, just buy zinc. If you're buying vitamin D3, buy vitamin D3, 1000 IU. That's about 50 mg. If you're buying vitamin C, buy vitamin C, 1000 milligram. And I also advise that the one you are buying should not be the ones that have been sweetened, because most times the sweeteners are aspartame or some other things that they use in sweetening, which also will have a side effects on you if you begin to ingest that. So I don't want you to buy that. So just buy vitamin C. It's not for your taste right now that you want those sugary stuff you want to put in your system and all of that. Right now, buy the one that does not have any taste. You don't need the sugar in your system anyway, by the way. So because we want to go to the history of aspartame and what it does. So all we're trying to do is that, look, eat healthy, eat clean. If you eat clean, you stay clean, then you'll be fine.
I don't know if you're going to be able to answer every single question today.
I think I'm already
some of it for the next for your next program.
Somebody saying Foodie Fit is 1000 milligram, not too much. You heard from Dr. Ajayi. So please go back and listen to the tape. Don't just listen halfway. The maximum requirement is 2000 milligram for a day for a person not having any condition. Under a normal condition, 2000 milligram. 1000 is not going to be too much. What I recommend is 1000 a day if you have no condition. So the maximum, if anything happens, is 2000. But again, so 1000 milligrams is not going to be too much. It does not exceed in normal requirement. So that's still very okay and it's very fine.
Okay, thank you so much, Pastor Deji Alabi. It's always a pleasure. And thank you for always having the time to explain things, properly and extensively.
Thank you.
And all the questions, his DM is still open for questions. So right. I think you just let him rest. His
right.
DM is open for questions, so you can send in your questions to his
right.
DM and his Facebook platforms inbox and all that. And he'll answer the questions before the next program comes up.
Right.
So thank you. I'd like to thank you and thank Dr. Ebenezer Ajayi.
Thank you too, Sylvia. Thank you for staying out here. Thank you. I really appreciate your consistency over this.
Thank you.
been a very strong supporter and encourager to us in all of this. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
People like you, I won't be coming online. I'm serious. It's time consuming. It's a lot to keep coming online and keep doing.
Yes, thank you.
We have to.
It's a pleasure. It's my pleasure to be online with you today. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. So again, till we see next week Saturday, please subscribe and subscribe to our YouTube channel. People say they don't want to subscribe because they don't want us to make money. Well, if that is what it is, let us make money on YouTube. The money is not coming from you now. YouTube is not taking money from you. Just go there and subscribe. All right, thank you very much, everyone. We love you. Please stay safe out there. Maintain social distancing. If you must go out, please wear a mask. Wash your hands thoroughly. Use a hand sanitizer if you have to. If you are washing with soap, they said, sing happy birthday to you. I would advise you sing your native or Lojo Ebi Ijoko. Before you sing that one 2 times, you will have washed your hands properly. If you sing happy birthday to you, it will not be enough because the Nigerian method could be very short. All right, we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye. See you. Thank you so much. Everybody who has joined us today, thank you. God bless you. All right, bye. Thank you, Dr. Adayi. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.